All right, so the last episode of Hard Knocks last night with the Chicago Bears. Final episode. So what makes the Bears and Caleb Williams so fascinating, I'm looking at all these 1 o'clock games Sunday. Titans, Bears, I'm locked. I may not even go red zone. I may just turn that thing on and watch every play. Like, it is fantastic. And what makes Chicago so fascinating is that they've done virtually, no, it's not virtually, they've done the impossible in the NFL. They've never had a great quarterback ever for an extended period. The Chargers, they're chargering. They've had Rivers, they got Herbert, they had Breeze, they had Fouts. Niners have had 4 or 5. Packers have had 4 or 5. Eagles have had 3 or 4 or 5. Bears, none. Never had a single quarterback ever throw for over 4,000 yards. That's like being a casino and never making money. People go to your casino and give you money. The casino always wins. 100 years running a casino. Yeah, we never made a profit. How do you not have one quarterback ever that's thrown for 4,000 yards? They don't have a quarterback that's ever thrown for over 30 touchdowns. Even Blake Bortles did that in Jacksonville. What the hell's going on with Chicago? Well, it's the weather. No, it's not, because Green Bay and Buffalo had it all the time. What it is, it's cultural. It's systemic. And I'll give you an example. So when they hired a coach years ago, as the league's pivoting to offense, the rules are all offense. The oldest owner in the NFL, Mrs. McCaskey, who does she rely on? Bill Polian, 80 years old. I love Bill. I know Bill. But Bill, old school, let's go with a defensive coach. Jeffrey Lurie, produced a lot of movies in Hollywood. Jeffrey Lurie, if you look at his businesses, always on the cutting edge. He just keeps hiring offensive coaches, getting quarterbacks, offensive coaches, mobile quarterbacks, offensive coaches. You look at Stan Kroenke, again, L.A., a lot of business, cutting edge of stuff. Let's go hire Sean McVay, 30 years old. Les Snead, young GM. They're constantly moving. They're kind of progressive creators. Jeffrey Lurie, Stan Kroenke, always trying new stuff, but they have their values. They have their formulas like everybody else. So to win in Chicago isn't just about being really talented. Caleb Williams, and it's unfair, will have to be transformational. Because the oldest owner, they're still celebrating the 1985 Chicago Bears. The Bears have done virtually the impossible. They're a casino that doesn't make money. How in the world can you not, one time, have quarterback throw for 35 touchdowns? All the rules have changed. How? Well, you do it when you're clinging to the past. You do it when you celebrate a team from 1985. That's what Caleb Williams will have to overcome.
Okay. So hold on.
Moratorium on celebrating the 85 Bears. It's enough.
Okay. He just is going to keep bashing on the 1985 Bears. Okay. Listen. It's actually pretty interesting. Because on one side, we say that Caleb Williams has to be transformational, right? And he has to be transcendent. He has to be next level. He has to take over. His expectations are so high through the roof. And it makes a lot of sense, right? When you do have such high expectations, it's like if you're anything less than that, even just a notch, people see it as a failure. There's people that legitimately see LeBron James as a failure because he did not win 6, 7 rings like Michael Jordan. And I know I just brought up Michael Jordan in a Chicago Bears video, and so let's not get too distracted by the whole MJ LeBron thing. But it's just unless you really surpass, honestly, unless you surpass expectations, people see that you've kind of almost failed to meet expectations. It's just the way it is. It's just the way, it's the world that we live in right now. When in reality, it's like if Caleb Williams is just a really great quarterback, that should be enough, because the Chicago Bears haven't had that, as Colin highlighted. It's like if Caleb Williams just makes the Bears relevant, gets them consistently into the playoffs, like Joe Burrow has already been a smash success for the Bengals. He's made the Bengals relevant. He's gotten the Bengals to a Super Bowl. Obviously, the hope is to win a Super Bowl, win multiple Super Bowls, right? But he's changed that culture in Cincinnati. He's turned them into a consistently, and unfortunately it's been derailed a little bit by injuries, but consistently a winning franchise. Same thing with the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills have a little bit of a harder history because of all the Super Bowls that they went to and lost, so it's a little bit different in that regard. But outside of that window and that pocket of time, the Buffalo Bills were nothing for years and years and years and years and years. And then Josh Allen's there, and now they're immediately relevant, immediately competitive, immediately Super Bowl contenders year after year after year. And at the end of the day, that should really be your hope when you do get a quarterback. Yes, you want to be able to get a quarterback who can win 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Super Bowls, right? Everybody wants that. But that's also not the most realistic thing. And is it fair to put those expectations in? Where it's like, if Caleb, because I part of me feels like the media, if Caleb Williams came out and won 2 Super Bowls, it feels to me that either fans or the media, not all of them, but a lot of them, would be like, was this really that good of a career? Was this really good? Because people look back and say that Peyton Manning wasn't a good enough quarterback. He only won 2. I mean, look how many Patrick Mahomes has already won, and he still has a long, runway left. People call out Aaron Rodgers. He only won 1 Super Bowl. That's not good enough. We look back on older quarterbacks, whether it be the Favres of the world, whoever. That guy only won 1 Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowls. That's not good enough. So it's just so fascinating how expectations influence what we think a good or not good quarterback is. What is successful versus unsuccessful. And the truth is as long as Caleb Williams makes the Bears relevant consistently year after year, you watch this season, you say the Bears have a real chance to win it all, and then the next year you say, oh man, before the season even starts, you say the Bears are coming. I think they should be favored, top 5 to win the Super Bowl, and that's the trend and trajectory now. To me, that is a home run. Now, of course, a grand slam is to win those Super Bowls, and I do believe that he can and will. Does it have to be this season? Probably not. But so, the question is that Colin didn't really answer or ask even. It just says it on the, at the bottom. Expectations for his rookie season. To me, the expectations are just to make the Chicago Bears relevant. To make the Chicago Bears matter. I'm someone who watches a lot of the games, right? I do. I watch a lot of the games, and now I'm going to be paying to watch all the games and stuff like that. So I'm going to watch even more than I ever have in my life. But I've already watched a lot of the games. And as someone who doesn't live in Chicago or anything like that, the Chicago Bears, for the most part, for many years, were a skippable team. I would still watch the games because I really enjoy watching games. I even just enjoy listening to the commentary for hours. It's kind of a podcast to me, even if it's not a team that I really care about. And they did have Justin Fields, and even though I wasn't a big believer in Justin Fields, he's still entertaining. You still wanted to see what can he do, whether he was going to succeed or fail spectacularly. It was still entertainment to me. But I didn't watch the Bears with the sense of, oh, this is trouble. Or, oh, they can make some noise. Or, oh, they're coming. This team's coming. There was never a sense of that. It was really either I'm watching the other team to see what they can do versus the Bears, kind of entertained by what is Justin Fields? Is Justin Fields ever going to be able to right this ship? Or like I said, you're just listening to the commentators just kind of go back and forth, and you learn a little bit about football, and it's just entertainment. It's just like a TV show at that point to me, rather than actually watching a football game that's gripping. Just more casual. Feels more like a rerun in a way. That's changed now to me. Caleb Williams will be can't miss TV. Because not only are you going to go there to watch what can or can't he do, but you're going to believe that the Bears have relevancy, that their games matter, that they can make the playoffs, that they can cause serious trouble for another team. Let's say you're rooting for, I almost said another divisional team, which would make Bears angry. Let's say you're rooting for, I can only think of divisional teams, like the Eagles, the Cowboys, whoever, and I don't remember exactly who the Bears are playing. You watch that game, if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan or an Eagles fan or a Kansas City Chiefs fan or whoever, you're going to be like, oh man, I can't sleep on this game. The Bears can absolutely beat us. It's going to be a tense game, a tense moment. So no matter what type of fan is going to be watching the Bears now, they just matter. They're going to be relevant. Not to mention in a year or two, then it's really going to be like, oh my God, we're playing the Bears. Oh my God, if we can just like make it competitive, that would be great. That will prove that we're good enough to make, hopefully, maybe, like then you don't know. Come time playoffs, who knows? Like, because I think the Bears could potentially be dominant. I don't think they're going to be dominant this season. I think they could be a good to great team this season, and I think they're going to make the playoffs. But I just think at the end of the day, as long as the Bears are relevant, that should be the expectations. And then if we pull back a notch, yeah, it's to go to Super Bowls, win at least, realistically, a couple Super Bowls. And then to me, anything on top of that is kind of gravy. But to kind of add to it, Caleb has said his agenda is to be the best quarterback ever. That is what he wants to achieve. And if you're a Bears fan, you should be happy about that big time. Because that means not only is he going all in and doing everything that he can to win, like the other greats before him, whether it be Mahomes, whether it be Brady, but I also then think that means he will take team-friendly deals because he knows you gotta win rings. He wants to win. So the Bears could really be set up to be an amazing team for years and years and years to come. And that will be because of Caleb Williams. And so to me, he will exceed the realistic expectations. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? What do you think Caleb Williams has to do this season to really kind of just change everything for the Bears, whether it's media presence, perception, fan perception, whatever it may be? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.